What's going on, y'all? Site Perspectives, GeoFlux here. And once again, as always, on the road heading to work. And as always, why? I mean, y'all, I don't care. I'm gonna keep talking about it. I am so sick and tired of these jobs because, again, what is the purpose of going to work every single day? Or how many, if you're working full time, what have you. What's the point of going to work and you're living check to check? You're not making enough money to live, and they don't care. There's no conversations about any of this. And I know you're like, well, are y'all speaking up? Are y'all going to management? Or you talk? And here's the problem. A lot of us live in what's called right to work states. And I know you're like, oh, you got the right to work. The right to work passed in Michigan in 2011, 2012. And this was like a year to 2 years after Rick Snyder, the former governor in Michigan, was elected. And right to work legislation was passed in the state of Michigan. And when you live in right to work states, basically what that means is you can be fired for any given reason. We don't have unions. Where I work, I don't have a union. So you have to be very careful about how you go about speaking up for yourself and negotiating for better pay, because you can be fired and now you don't have any income. So now you don't went from being paid poverty wages, but at least you had a few dollars, to now you have no job and no health insurance. So you don't really have the luxury of just being like, well, I'm finna tell the management, look, if you can't pay us $25, then I'm out that out. You're gonna be fired. It is what it is. Nobody, and they've made it very clear that we're all replaceable. So, and I mean, hello, COVID-19, if that didn't show you how employers do not care about you, the simple fact that we still got to drive and go into these buildings knowing that there's various variants and it's impacting everybody differently, and people are still dying, and over 1 million plus people have died in the USA alone. And granted, there are jobs where like you can't do at home, but my job is fully behind a computer and a phone. It makes no sense that I'm driving and wasting gas to come into a building and then to turn around and put myself at risk. For shit. And then I need to get glasses and all this other shit going on. So it's like, anyways, it just doesn't make sense. And you would think that we are living, because everyone's like, well, how are y'all spending y'all money? How are you budgeting? How are you saving? How are you planning? You know what I mean? What are you buying? Where is your money going to, right? And a lot of people have this assumption that we're just living these extravagant lives. And so instead of us paying for bills or rent or mortgage or car insurance or renter's insurance, life insurance, utilities, gas for your car, you might even be, trying to pay off student loans or paying off a debt, your credit card, or whatever it may be, groceries, whatever it may be. If you have dependents and children and you got other people that you got to look after, whatever it may be, this becomes a huge issue because people assume that we're not doing any of that and we're just going out and buying, $60,000, $70,000 cars, and I'm going to California and Florida and Bali for the next 2 weeks for vacation. I haven't been on a real vacation in damn near 4 years. You might as well go on and say 4 years because it's about to be August. So, yeah. And our idea of going somewhere is going camping. And we ain't been camping since May. It's literally about to be August. And keep in mind, before that, the last time I went camping was Labor Day 2021. And in my opinion, I like camping. Me personally, I enjoy camping, but I don't consider camping a vacation because you're not you have to do a lot of work. Like, let's just keep it real. You got to put your tent up. You're outside. You're not necessarily around electricity. So it's not really, when I think about, and I know me, I enjoy camping, right? It's something that I like, but I don't view it as a vacation. A vacation is going to, first of all, going out of the state, preferably. Going somewhere really warm and being on the beach, having a hotel, stuff like that. Not, I got to do all of this shit, rug it out. Granted, it's fun and I enjoy it, but that's not, you know what I mean? It's not a vacation to me. And now camping is so astronomically expensive. Like, oh my God, because everything has gone up. So like, if you want to go to a decent campsite, you're going to be driving at least 3.5 hours away. And when gas is $4 or higher, that's not affordable to be doing every weekend or even every other weekend. Because like when we went back in May, that was $120 round trip in gas to get. So you think about that. You're paying $120 to go 3.5 hours away from where you live to go camping. Then you're paying for the camping site. Thank God it was 3 of us. But it still ended up being like $25 per person. And then you're buying food. Food is astronomically expensive. So everything has gone up. So it's not really, you're not really saving money anymore. Camping used to be something that was relatively affordable, cheap. You could damn near do it every weekend. Now, you got to think about it. You're paying $100+ in gas just to go to where you're trying to go. So again, it's not really affordable anymore like that, in my opinion. Especially if you have children and other people that you're bringing, and you got to provide food and all that stuff for it. It's just not really. It's not like how it used to be. So, you know, and then like I said, y'all living above your means. I'm literally driving a 2009 Chevy Malibu. My car is 13 years old. And actually, come September, it'll be 13 and a half, because this was March of 2009. And I'm 29, so my car is damn near half my age. But yet, somehow, we're living above our means. Right. And then, too, when you have older cars, you're constantly running into situations where you need to make repairs. So after a while, it's literally it's a money pit. Because every time you turn around, you got to put something into it. So like right now, the radio is gone because the radio went out. I bought a new radio in 2017. That went out. And I removed that out, which is another reason why I'm going into trades, because a lot of this stuff I already know how to do. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I took out the old radio. I think I put it in the trunk. So anyways, I took out the old radio. I priced out a new radio for it. That's about $189. But I'm like going back and forth, because it's like, why should I spend $189 when these things are not lasting? I mean, damn, I bought one 5 years ago. And you think when you have a factory modeled radio, you don't have to replace that in 5 years. You typically can have that for as long as you have the car. Meanwhile, you go and get an aftermarket radio that's supposed to be so much better, and it's gone in 5 years. I'm not going to be paying $189 for some shit that ain't going to last. And that's just how I feel personally. You know, I'm going to look elsewhere for different pricing. But luckily for me, I can, you know, install it myself, because I do know how to do all of that. But I removed it, took it out. It was dead. It wasn't working. And then like the fuse on the back was like burnt, melted, so you knew like, okay, this is why it's not coming on. And then previously when I took it out, because it would literally come on and then shut off, and then like all of the dashboard was shut off, and I had to replace clusters in the dashboard, and that was like $850. And then now, and then, you know, I just keep it real, I'm always having to put money into this car. And then now you got the radio issue, and then more electrical issues. I've been having electrical issues with this car since 2019, 2020. So now this is the second time, because in 2020 I had to pay $750 for them to figure out why the damn on the driver's side, the window doesn't come down, you can't even use, and then you can't unlock or lock it. And then now, recently, you can't use the sunroof. It don't work. It's always electrical issues. And what I've noticed is when you have electrical issues, it costs way more to get those repaired and fixed versus your rotors went out, your brakes went out. You know what I mean? You need new tires. And don't get me wrong, new tires is ridiculous. Stuff is still expensive, but you're paying far way more anytime there's an electrical issue than when it's just a mechanical issue. And yeah, so at this point, I personally feel like this car is a money pit, and it would make more sense to trade this in and get a new car. But then at the same time, I don't want to be on the hook for a car note or a car payment, because that's just more money in the long run. You know, you can say what you want to say, but I could come up with, you know, $1,200 to get this car fixed, you know, or figure it out myself. Like, I know how to remove the panels, you know, like what I mean by panels, you can pop these out. These come out, and this will completely remove, and then you can see all the wiring and see exactly what's going on. So I know how to do that. So I'm probably going to end up doing that this weekend, and then figuring out what part I need to order, or, you know, go up to O'Reilly's or one of these Advanced Autos. So, but it's really ridiculous how every time I turn around there's something wrong with this car, and then it's just, I'm over it. And again, it's a money pit, and this is, you know, I'm gonna do another video later on, but when you're living in poverty, or you're hovering over poverty, you're basically low income, working class, working poor, or you're just straight up impoverished poor, it's very expensive, because every time you turn around, stuff that you put off because you don't have the income to get it fixed right away, time will fly by, and now other things are wrong. Other things are not working. So now you got to put even more and more money, when if you would have just had the money at the time, you could have went and got that fixed. And then, like I said, if we were being paid quality wages, a lot of us wouldn't be driving around in death traps to begin with. We would have newer cars, because we would be able to afford newer cars. Where me personally, looking at how everything is, I don't need to be paying a car note. That's $300+ that I'm losing every month. I'm literally only getting $2,300 a month at my current job. So who is supposed to get $350 or whatever for a car note? Now that's extra money that you're losing. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really beneficial, because now, okay, you know what I mean? It's just like, and then by the time you calculate insurance, I know people right now that's paying like $700 a month to have a car, between their car note and their damn car insurance. It's ridiculous. And it's like, you're paying $700 to drive a car. You got rent that's astronomical. If you got a mortgage, you still got your mortgage. You still got to have homeowners insurance. I recommend that you have renter's insurance if you're a renter, tenant. You still got other bills and responsibilities, and you're not even making $15 an hour, because for me, after taxes and deductions, it's $14.92. So it's trash. It's absolute trash. And there's no way people can be sitting up just, it's BS. And again, it's expensive when you're living check to check, and you're poor, or you're working class, or you're working poor, or you're literally hovering over the poverty line, or you're low income. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then every time you turn around, there's some unexpected expense popping up that you gotta chip out money for, and that adds up. Like tomorrow, like I already know this, right? I know my bills, right? So tomorrow my phone bill is due. That's $143. And again, why are we paying $143 for a cell phone? It's ridiculous. These phones shouldn't be no more than $60, $70 a month, and that's real. Because if you remember back in the day, we weren't paying $143 for a damn phone. This mess is ridiculous. But then because of the type of work that we do and the type of world that we live in, you have to have a smartphone. There's no getting around that. You know what I mean? And you have to have internet. There's no getting around from that. And that's why it's just really janky how we are constantly overcharged for necessities. I can see, you know, for example, you want a Tesla and you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. It's a Tesla. You're going to pay a pretty penny, even though it's a shitty ass car. I mean, all the problems that people have with them cars is ridiculous. But the name sells. So you know you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. Where you shouldn't be paying, and I'm going to go there, you shouldn't be paying $50,000 and $60,000 for a damn pickup truck. It's a fucking pickup truck. This is not a luxury vehicle. But this is the mess that's going on. And then what's out cold is they're steady making pickup trucks, knowing that they don't have the appropriate part, the chip. So these trucks are just sitting in fields, you know, yet you think somebody's going to be paying $50,000, $60,000 for a truck that you've had in the damn field where mice and everything else done ate up. Because let's be honest, mice will get in your car and tear up all these wires and all kinds of shit. And you got it sitting in an open field, and you think somebody finna pay you $50,000, $60,000 for a car that's been chilling in the field for the past year or two? You can kiss my ass on that. And again, the car is not worth $60,000. It's a damn pickup truck. Pickup truck shouldn't be no more than $30K. And that's real. This ain't no luxury vehicle. Shit, this ain't no damn Cadillac. This ain't no... We using this to the log shit. Like, come on. But anyways, another video will be coming, and I will be discussing how poverty, working poor, working class, low income, living check to check, how that ends up being extremely expensive in the long haul, because you're constantly having to put off shit or rob Peter to pay Paul, or you can't do this and you can't do that. And so by the time you're able to get it fixed, you got 3-4 other things that's wrong with it because you've had to wait so long. And then it's hard to save money when you're not making enough money and everything is going up, 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 but yet your income is not. And yet you're working a full-time job. And then these jobs wonder why everybody's burnt out, why people are frustrated, why people are tired. There's no incentive to be here. I'm not making a living. So why should I be here? I should be doing something else. And that's what I plan on doing. This is a waste of my time.